Good morning. I've just woken up. Well, I haven't just woken up. I've just got out of bed. Nearly 9:30 in the morning. And we're going to carry on with our speed run. It's not showing me a rating yet. We're playing The Forgotten Being. Where's that from? Mongolia. Okay, and we're facing e4. So what haven't we played? Let's play a Caro-Kann. I literally never play the Caro-Kann. Well, almost literally, because quite clearly I do. Well, I think we just proceed with plan A, which is to contest this pawn now that it's got a backup. So I've got myself a pot of coffee here. So we're not going to rush because it's a 15:10 and we've got loads and loads of time. There we are. Lovely. So I hope we're all doing well. Okay. So knight comes out. I mean, the very tempting move is d4 with tempo, which allows me to get e5 in for free. So just on that evidence alone, the knight can't come forwards there or there. It's going to have to retreat or go to the side, I think. But whatever happens, I can just hit e5, can't I? And he goes all the way home. Wee, all the way home. e5, and not in the way of any pawns. All the pawns in the centre don't get in the way of the bishops or the queen. Okay, this is now under attack and undefended. So we should defend. Now that defends, but leaves my bishop looking a bit awkward. That defends, leaves itself looking a little bit awkward. f6 blocks off the queen slightly and this bishop. Queen f6 gets in the way of the knight. I'll play queen f6. I'm expecting d3, and then probably bishop here with tempo would be the idea, but I can prevent that with h6. Stops both the knight and the bishop coming to that square, which I think is a double prophylaxis, so probably worth the cost of the move. I've got bishop out as well. There's a check here. c3. Bishop e7 is again in the way of the knight. So maybe let's think about getting the knight out first. There's no mad rush. Opponent has lost 2 moves, actually, by bringing his knight out and then undeveloping it again. So he's only got 2 pieces out on the board. As have I. But I have the more advanced centre. This is also looking very bad now, isn't it? Biting on granite if he fianchettas that bishop. So, just looking at this move, yeah, so he's defending the pawn there with a piece, and a piece that could be attacked. So just looking at why he didn't immediately fianchetto the bishop, it's because he was worried about this. He could have gambited the pawn. Okay, so here we are. So the knight's now retreated. So this knight has now also made 2 moves. So I can't bring my bishop out to here. I think it's knight g6. That is just my huncheroo. Nice solid position. I'll probably short castle, particularly since the c-pawn has moved. Don't have to. So his bishops are kind of facing this way, but none of that is too much of an issue. Okay, that doesn't bother me at all. I mean, this is my. You see, I've been playing 3-minute blitz and stuff, so I think that's fine. I'm not worried about bishop coming here ever. Take back the queen to keep my pawns in good repair, and also threatening the g-pawn, which it appears he has missed. Well, has he? He's attacking this undefended pawn. If I take here, can he take the pawn? Well, no, because I take the rook and then trade queens. So I think he's too slow. I can always play f6 at any point, or bishop. No, not bishop there, but bishop f6, but probably pawn f6. Can't drop my queen back here because of the bishop. Oh, it moved. I should have done that with. Why didn't I do that with the bishop? Oh my goodness me. Let's give him another bite of the cherry. Okay, now this. Skewering the king on the queen, and the pawn can't block because the pawn is in a pin. There we go. And that is the game, guys. The Juve attack against the Caro-Kann. That's what's great about this speedrun, is that I'm finding all new things. Yeah, this is game over now. He's got one legal move, I think. Two. Okay. All good fun. Right, so what did he do wrong? Was he a good sport? Okay, I'm now 896. What did he do wrong? So this is the Juve attack. Interesting. I'm going to pull this up on the Lichess Explorer and see what that has to say. Okay, so we're going to F to flip. Does not do well for white. Because at d5, that's what I played, right? And then knight c3, it's a 53% win rate, and this is at 1000 all the way to 2000 on Lichess. So what he really should do here is proceed with the fianchetto, which is exactly what I said. Like, why push b3 if you're not going to play bishop b2? Proceed with the fianchetto, gambit the pawn, and even if we take the pawn, that's fine. Yeah. So now he can just develop, and white's doing absolutely fine here. There we go. He did not do that. He thought, oh no, my pawn, and thought, well, I have to defend the pawn. Well, you don't have to defend the pawn. So yeah, other moves here. E takes is not good. He should not take and give up a central pawn for a wing pawn. Bishop e2 is really the only good move here. Queen e2 is a thought. Defend the pawn with a queen. So there you go. Yeah, just that's what happens at the beginner level. Let's do another one while we're here. Okay, I've got an award for playing the Caro-Kann defense. Well done. Okay, now we've got white. Birds opening. Why not? Okay, From's Gambit is what I play against the birds. And you have got to be somewhat careful. Okay, yeah, we can take the second pawn. Now bishop takes. Oh, okay, he's given himself an IQP, an isolated queen's pawn, straight out of the gate. Okay, now I need to put my knight here, because I've stupidly moved my f-pawn. And I don't want the queen coming in and causing trouble. Opponent is rated 948. I think we just go forwards here, don't we? Hit the bishop, hit this. He should defend. Oh, there's a good reason not to do that. Okay. Now I'm immediately already starting to play too casually, so let's cut that crap out. There's only one move there. Oh, that was really silly moving my knight there. But I'm going to get this fianchetto in. This pawn and rook are a soft target, but f6. Right, there's no queen or anything though. You've got to be very careful in situations like this, but No, it's just the case now. Just get all the guys out and bang. That's my next few moves. Right, don't even really need to think here. Okay. This and this to upset his bishop. In fact, I do have e4 straight away, but he'll probably play rook e8 to pin the pawn. Having said that, if I do move the e-pawn first, I could then move this bishop out before I shut the door with d3. That might be a good idea. So I'm 8-9-6, and this game is worth 55 points, if I can win. See, now it's giving me a rating. Anyway, more coffee, we should. I mean, if you guys have got plenty of time, I carry on all the way to 1000 here, I don't mind. Okay, so I'm going to do this with the idea of moving. If he moves his rook to e8, I've got bishop b5 pinning the knight. Both these squares are decent though. It attacks my queen. We blocks. I'm a full queen up still, even though I blundered a piece. Take back with the queen, retain castling rights. I could have opened up my knight by taking back with the knight. Gary's actually in the way there. So Gary will probably be sent on a suicide mission very soon. We're going to castle. If I take there, he's got that. There's no need. Let's just castle. Get the rooks in the game. Maybe stick a rook there, rook there. Neutralise Gary. Sorry, Gary. I think knight. Knight opens up the bishop. Could even sack the exchange there. Stick the queen in. That's just game over. Has to go here. Yeah. Takes, takes, takes. No, takes, takes. Queen g4 check. That's forced, I think. But even got takes there as well. So it's all gonna end very soon. This. If the king moves here as well, I've got like rook df1. Well, that's forced. Another check with a knight. I guess. Oh, and we've got this as well now. Yeah, if he takes my knight, just take his knight. You see, that was the value of opening up the bishop. Okay, well, you lose your knight anyway. He's now severely running out of material. Okay, and resigns. Excellent. He wants to play a game. I'm not going to play a game. I'm going to play somebody new and play something different. We're on 951 and this would take us to 1000, guys. So what are we going to play? Play b3. So the whole point of this speedrun is there's no theory here at all. The theoryless speedrun. Okay, and I'm going to do what I said. Finca to the bishop, that's the whole point of that move. Huh. Well, let's put two attackers on the pawn. And he can't defend with e5. Because knight covers both of these two squares, right? he takes, I take. The bishop's going to come out. Okay, take towards the centre. Open up the F file. I'm already very, very happy here. Okay, I'm going to stick my bishop there because it's looking at the F pawn and we have a semi-open F file. Mouse skills deserting me. Oh dear. Oh crikey. You know what I mean. Anyway, this square is the one we're aiming at. Opponent is Dragon Flaming 1069 from Singapore. Okay, I can wipe him out, but I don't want to yet. I'm going to castle, I think. The knight is in a pin. Maybe something like d3 or d4. I don't know. I don't want to play d4 and block this bishop in. But just d3, knight bd2 to support that knight, making this queen free to move around the cabin. In the words of Grandmaster Daniel Naroditsky, which I like. Excellent streamer. Okay. Now I am attacking it twice, but this knight's in a pin. So plan A. I'm just going to be slightly careful with this. I can take it. Okay, it's attacking the pin piece with the pawn. But I can take with my pawn. But also, do I have this? No, I don't. Because takes. I can go there with check, but then I don't win the bishop because the bishop's defended by the knight. That's annoying. Let's see what happens now. If he takes back with a knight, we still haven't got a problem because knight there check and queen takes, so still not ideal. Okay, knight bd2. There king takes. Knight moves with check is a double check because I check with the rook as well. There he takes. Oh fuck it, go on, we're doing it. In the words of Simon Williams. I do love watching Simon's Title Tuesday speedruns. So this is a double check, right? This is the point. And when, in the case of a double check, the king has to move. But the point is that I win this bishop back, whatever happens. This king has to move. Because, yeah, he could block the check from the rook, but he can't block the check from the knight. He could take the knight, but that doesn't block the check from the rook. You can't block a check from a knight. These things are all true. Now, I'm inclined to do this with the idea of this. Oh, God, can't resist. So really dopey today, really dopey. I went on a super long walk, met up with my ex. This is the lady that I moved up to Scotland to be with, and we lived together for like 6 weeks, and then we were like biting lumps of fur out of each other the whole time. But yes, it'd still get on really well. So we went for a long walk yesterday on the beach, and I did, over like 20,000 steps, all barefoot, all on the beach. And so waking up this morning, absolutely buggered. I think this might be mate in one. What do you think? Looks like it, doesn't it? Boom! That, my friends, was a pretty one. Was Dragon Flaming a good sport? Yes, it's good sport. Okay, well, I'm up for another one, if you are. We're over 1,000 now, though. Just shows how quickly your rating bounces up and down when you start. This one's worth 34 points as well if I can do it. So Calamity Baker, is that New Zealand? Yes. Oh, boo. Okay, J. Scott 6870, rated 1039 from the US of A. Okay, against 1d4. I play d5. Barely ever played this in my life. c4 is normal, or are we going to have a London? What are we going to have? We don't know. He doesn't know. I've surprised him with the offbeat. Okay. Now, this could be a Jabava London. See, normally in d4 openings, you want to support it with c4, or in the case of black, c5, which is what I might do. Now, if he does this, he might have been doing some homework, and we have to be jolly careful. Okay, so he's taken. And he's still not brought his bishop out. But he does have two attackers on here, so knight f6 is my first thought. I mean, what I want to do is play e5, but I can't. I can't because I'm already a pawn down, and this guy's attacked 2 times. So if I do this and out comes the bishop, are we scared? Well, I've always got this, haven't I? Stop the knight coming in. Because this is the big threat, right? Is this. Bishop on f4 and attacking there. Actually, no, I haven't got that at all. So there, if the bishop comes out, probably just a6. Got e6 with the disco on the c-pawn. Is there any difference between a discovered attack and a revealed attack? Well, we just don't know. So, okay, he's got 2 attackers on this, it's defended twice, that's fine. I think all we need to do is stop the knight coming in there. And it might have a bit of use later on to prevent the bishop, but I think tactically it's probably worthwhile. And probably knight c6, e5, with tempo. That's my thought. Calamity Baker was not a good sport. No, Calamity Baker didn't play. And only one person has picked up on the name Eccentrica Gambits, which is very disappointing. You all need to read more books. Okay, so I'm thinking develop. And again, this bishop now can't come there and can't come there. So I'm quite pleased to see e3. Let's bring out the knight. I've got this if I need, it's defended by my knight. I've got this. And you know, you might be thinking, oh, you've just put your knight in a pin. Well, I have, right? But my king hasn't castled. And this second bishop move, I'm arguing is a waste of time now. Because I could push h6, put the question to the bishop. And then if he takes and takes, that's 3 moves by that same bishop. Right, let's try and prove a point here. He could drop back. I can always snatch my pawn back anyway, which I might just do now. Because it allows me to castle. Queen can't come there or there. Queen could come here or here. How do we feel we're doing? Well, I've got 2 central pawns to his 1. Other than that, we're kind of equal, development-wise. This might be a thought, queen b6. It hits the b2 pawn, which is undefended, seeing as this bishop is from home. In fact, this bishop has gone 1, 2, 3. 3 moves. The other thing is, of course, I've got a battery against this. So takes, takes, queen takes from here. You block with something or other. Do we like this move? It gets the queen out of the pin as well. It's quite a typical move, I think. Is it the d4-ness of the... Ooh, okay. Okay, I think we just take now. I'm kind of okay with this. I now have 2 bishops, which is, you know, makes much more of a difference when you're talking expert level players. Less so of a difference when you're talking, you know, pedestrians like us. In an end game, 2 bishops can be... oh, that's not a bad move. I have 2 checks though. And this again is quite a classic pattern. Okay. I think I'd do this because that's a check and it forks the knight. He can't just block the check. He's going to have to put the knight back where there, right? Has to do that. I could then attack the pinned piece with a pawn. PP on the PP, put pressure on the pinned piece. And if I do that, takey, takey. I quite like knight e5 as well. Yeah, I don't really want to... I like my central points. I've got a vision of my king ending up on e7 now. See, if he taketh here, I take again towards the centre. Getting a big, nice mass of bishops and pawns and shit. Be a bit careful about this diagonal. Knight's still in a pin. Okay, so the plan is b4. But before he gets a chance to play it, I'm going to spoil his fun. There's no kind of pawn I can block with, so I think we just spoil the fun. There. Something like... We'll try and open up the position now. I've got 2 bishops. I think back to here. Something's telling me that I don't want to leave that hole there. It's kind of gaping. Do we think b5? It's still very much in the balance, this, guys. Oh, the knight's hanging. Will my friend J. Scott spot it? Probably has, yes. Okay, I'm going to play this because I want to activate this bishop on this diagonal. But wait a minute, Hunter, you say, there's a pawn in the way. I know, but what do pawns do? Move forwards. Everyone knows this. It's one of the first things you learn. Pawns move forwards. Bang. Look, open G-file, semi-open G-file anyway. Where has that knight moved? 1, 2, 3. In the last 7 moves, 5 of them have been by a knight. Oh, I reckon it might even be that one, hasn't it? No. Anyway, so where's he going now? That's a good question. I'm glad you asked, because he's not going there and he's not going there because of pawnage. And that's... Is that it? Is that your plan? Seriously? Okay, well this is fine, because I'm thinking I'm going to stick my king on d7 anyway, like slam my rooks up here, push this, attack there. Where are you going to castle? Look at his pawns. It's like Swiss cheese over there. I think my pawns are pretty. I like my pawns. Something like this. Now I have the option of a pinnage. Why not just keep playing more pawn moves? In fact, check here. he can't block with the queen because the rook falls. So check here. He has to move that king. Do we care? It's the first question. So you'll play king here, here, or ooh, there, or there, right? Could then follow up with this. But is my queen better on this square than where she is now? Is it worth the move? Or do I want to play like king d7, move the rook over? I know it's a chance for him to screw up and block and lose a rook, but that's hope chess. Bishop here, I've got king e7 as well. I think I prefer this, just that pressure. Oh, I've got that as well, hitting the bishop. And let's say pawn takes, I've got takes with check, king moves. It'd be better if I had a rook on g8 first, because then I could go proceed and take this pawn with probably a fork. More coffee. Castles. Takes. This hits the bishop and opens up a discovery on that pawn. Again, though, I would like... I won't get my rook there, so just have a quick scan. Yeah, I would definitely want a rook on g8. This is also a plan. Takes and just send Harry up to his death. Could be good. Everyone's got 12 minutes, so heaps of time. No one's in a rush here. I'm just doing this. Still with the idea of pushing that pawn or that pawn, and they both potentially come with threats. I'll do that. Maybe. How many games has this been anyway? Oh! Well, that's not actually threatening my bishop, because this pawn's pinned by my rook, what I just put there. Innit? So I could proceed with this. This, I want to play at the right time. So any point to rook g5 hitting the knight. Knight now can't retreat to there, so that's out. That's out. That's out because king takes. He can defend with that, so queen defends. Then I take. There. I think it's worth a punt. I've always got the option now of doubling up as well. This also, again, weakens his king side a little bit. I can always just drop the rook back if I want to. There we go. So takes. This one can't take. Takes, let's say pawn takes. Well, I could have pushed that pawn as well just to make life worse for that bishop, but I feel that bishop's got a brighter future on e2 anyway. If he takes here, what are we doing? I think we're just dropping back all the way to here. I can't go there because of the bishop. I can't go there because of the knight, so it's all the way back to g8, isn't it? Again, these pawns are looking looser, but I need to take advantage of it somehow. And at this moment, I haven't really got away. This pawn's defended 3 times. Okay, now, what this means is that the bishop is now on prise, so I have to move it. He could decide to trade off that knight. Oh, also, look, he's just put his king in line with my bishop. So at any point, I'm going to keep my eyes on here just for the possibility of a double attack. Don't know what he's going to put on there. Okay, I think this isolated h-pawn now needs to go on its way. This as well might be a thing. With the idea of queen here, d4, threatening checkmate. He can't block with a bishop, right? So I played that in kind of blitz time, but what the hey. Also, this pawn again is now pinned, which means that this pawn is not guarding this pawn. So this pawn is now only... Oh, hello. Hello! Mixing up my pressure. Not really attacks as such, but definitely pressure. But J. Scott 6870 is playing a much tougher game than anyone we've met so far. Alright. Okay, this is my thought. That's what the first thing I see. So having the pawn right in front of my king, I'm not worried about that. So that's the threat. It just simply wins material, does it not? I do have a check with a queen. Not that way. I do enjoy this game sometimes. He's having a think now, isn't he? But look how loose the pawns are. So that's a backwards pawn. It can only be defended by a piece. This is a backwards pawn. It's also defended by a piece. This one's quite well defended. What you gonna do? And if I can get h5, h4, h3 in, covering this square. And see, this diagonal is really playing a big role now. Okay. That pawn hangs, doesn't it? Now let's say this, and then can he slam a rook in and cause trouble? Sometimes it's just not worth picking up pawns, especially if it opens up files that could create a backdoor into your position. I'm just going to push h4. Just on instinct, that one. This pawn's pinned, right? It's in an absolute pin by the rook, so it can't take. Oh, more pawn pushes. What about doubling up here? So I've got multiple things lined up. If I do this, he'll just swap off queens. This is a really powerful threat, a potential threat. I've got a check. I'm going to chuck in the check and see what he does. Because now pushing the pawn, there's no option to trade queens. It has to come at the right time. See, if the king goes there or there, big trouble in Little China. Now do I throw in this? Is it time to pull the trigger on this? Hits the queen and we'll then do this. And there's no blocking with the bishop, right? So let's do this. The queen is hit. She can't go there, 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 she can't go there. Any of that nonsense. So where's she going to go? She's going to go sideways, right? And she can't go there because of the pawn. Can't go there. So she's really got kind of 3 squares. I don't see it. I don't see the finish. I think it's time to double up the rooks. Just add yet another threat. The threat can be so much greater than the execution. Ooh, ooh. No, I forgot my king was only a king and not a queen. Got very excited then that this rook was hanging. But yeah, one very important thing you have to remember about kings in chess is they're going to only move 1 square at a time. Okay, he's done that. Oh, there's got to be something good here. Come on, pile on. There, the queen's the first capturer, so it's not great. In fact, takes. That's actually kind of equal. Yeah. With the idea of queen in. There, now she hasn't got this option, that queen. And also, I might have this. Do I have this? No. That's also a thought. Yeah, I think I want to put my queen here. I'm just mucking about here now. Maybe ideas of this. Takes. Also remember, this pawn is still in a pin, so it's not defending that, but then the rook is, even if the queen moves. We're both on 9 minutes now. Game on. Also notice that my queen doesn't defend this bishop. Not right now. I could stick on c6. My big imbalance of the game at the start has been these 2 central pawns. I'm not really using them. I'm thinking more about kind of tactical ideas. Huh. So now here he can take. As if I take back, rook takes queen. That's funny. So I'll do that with. So getting out of the discovered attack by the rook. So with my queen on here, if I'd done that, bishop just takes, and then pawn takes, rook takes queen with check, losing. But now again, we've reopened negotiations on this. It does technically hang that pawn, but defended by the bishop. Okay. Okay, I'm just pushing this now, finally. It was attacked twice anyway, by rook and queen on that square. Queen's going to move. Those are the queen's options. Slightly, my king's in a bit of an awkward position here. But everything is actually fairly tight. I wonder if I just move my king out the way and then take advantage of these weak pawns that have moved in front of the king. What you doing? That's mate. Bishop can block, though. God. I probably missed something completely dumb at some point. This? Can I push e4? Okay, if we trade, he's got two options to recapture. King and rook. If king takes, I can actually capture this pawn. No, I can't, because rook takes rook. This is really risky, though. It just feels an opponent is playing too well. Right, I'm going to put the bishop here with pressure on that. A little bit of a backwards momentum, but maybe get the king out of dodge. Hang on, so do I have this now? Can I capture here? Is he just threatening that? Bishop takes here. Rook takes, rook takes. Okay. Bishop takes here, bishop takes there. I'm just going to lift this rook, I think, right now. Just to defend that pawn, and also get out of the way of that. But now this is a definite threat. Takes, rook can't take, because rook takes rook, and this pawn is in a pin and not defending. Crikey. There's potential of this as well. Oh, what we're talking about? Queen's defending the whole third rank. Ah! Queen's the only defender of this which is under attack. Well, we've had, what, like 13 move checkmates, and now this is move 38, and it's still an absolute tussle. This is what we do it for, this is what we love. I am threatening this pawn. Let's say I do this. Oh no, I don't have that. Forget about queen g3 check. I mean, maybe not, because I take that with the pawn, but ooh yeah. Can I just take here? I think I kind of have to. Yeah, sod it. We're just doing it. We're just doing it. Pull the trigger. Got this too. Oh no, I don't. That's illegal. I'd be putting myself in check. Why didn't I move my king out of the way like I was supposed to? Still glad that these pawns are relatively secure. Can't put the king there, because then can he take that? Takes, and it's not, you know, the pawn's no longer pinned. That's the point. So maybe I have to do this. Or this. So much for speed run, huh? It's taken all day. Okay. He's just stepped out of the pin, which means this bishop is on prise, and this bishop itself is in a pin. So maybe that was a King Kahuna blunder. Maybe it was. Yeah, I'm just going to move the king out of the way. And that, boys and girls, might be the decisive blunder. Takes for the rook. Okay. Right, I'm down a bishop for a pawn. There. That just feels right. Tension here. This is now. I'm going to take there, try and get his queen off the third rank. Okay. Now this is a thought, but it drops that pawn. There, he can defend with the bishop. Crikey. Got to guard this. I'll just push this pawn. Got to put my king here. Then he can force the queens off. You can force the queens off right now anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Can't take there. Well, that drops the bishop anyway. No, it drops the queen as well. Comes with check. But my advantage is it's still these double central pawns. He, however, has a 2-on-1 on the queen side. This is a weakness. This is a weakness. They're both on light squares, which means that he can, if he gets his bishop here, he can defend them both to make the bishop a tall pawn. So you can't force the queens off yet, because that just drops the queen. I can't go there because of this. I have to go back. Thinking this. I'm going to play that now. He does something. I take. He comes here. I go there. He goes there. I go there. He goes here. I could wriggle away. So I thought he should have put his bishop on that square. There he goes here. And I want to wriggle my king, do I? It's very complicated. That is definitely a weakness. I come here, I'm threatening the pawn, he can't defend there. He can defend on this square. Technically there, that drops that pawn though. This is definitely an idea. Drops this pawn, but then I take. Okay, nothing I can do there, yeah. I said he could force the queens off. Yeah, he has to do this. But now... Ooh, I can't go there because of the bishop. Here he can defend the pawn. He can defend it a couple of times. I'm just going to have to use the clock here, boys and girls. There. Boom. Bada boom. Maybe. This is an odd move, because that is not a passed pawn. It's got an opponent. And this also blocks this diagonal, which means maybe my king can go to c6 and snap that pawn. It's not over, as Lenny Kravitz said. Bishop defends that. King probably needs to go to c6, and I need a wee, which is not ideal. That's what coffee does to you, boys and girls. It's a diuretic. Maybe need to move this pawn off of that, because this guy's slightly in the pin right now. I'm just going to have to try and outplay him on the clock right now. But still his pawns are somewhat loose, and still it's coming back to this central pair. Remember that we established very, very early on in the start of the game. But I have some hope. Only a fool's hope. If his rook moves, I might have a rook fork on these two as well, because he can't defend that pawn with the bishop. If he goes here and I just push, don't I? Maybe just that and then that. Because this A pawn's doing an important job of opposing that one. And that was a 1 minute 20 think. He's only got 2 minutes 20 left. Oh, is that a good move? Well, it drops that one. Comes here, I come here. In fact, whatever he does, I can go there. There, rook takes with check. Now the question, if the rooks come off the board, can I win? Okay, slightly moot point. Right, this bishop's kind of pinned. It can move with check, but it drops this pawn. If the rook moves to defend the pawn, it drops the bishop. So it's slightly complicated. Can I snatch the pawn? Can I afford to think anything else? I still have the one extra pawn. If I can eliminate this guy, this, I'm hitting the bishop and this pawn, but he's got that. So I think I just come back here. So he can't attack my pawn and he can't check my king, and I'm still hitting the bishop. Maybe I need to come after this guy, but I think the bishop's just got too many squares it can shuffle between. At least this king's out of the picture right now. If I come here, he's got that. I think I'm just going to waste time. I know I've let his king out into the board there. That's maybe not ideal. I'm worried about this fork if I play king e5. Okay, think first, Benjamin. Just chucking a check. Think, he says, and then doesn't think. We have to play a little bit on instinct here. King there, and the bishop's in a pin, right? That bishop can't move without the rook falling, but it can go here. Then I can go there, and that is, ooh, crikey. Crikey! I think it might come down to a race, and my king is in the centre of the board, whereas his king ain't. There we go, okay. Fortunately, he can get his bishop on there and defend both of these pawns. Got to take the rook. No, this is now lost. This is completely lost. Because my king can't stay glued to that pawn. Now he comes here. Yeah. I'm just in trouble. Resigns. I'm going to check that game out, because 65 moves and I lost to a 1000. Wow. And he didn't make a single blunder in the whole game. I had 9 missed wins. Jesus. Well, I'm not going to analyse that because it was long enough. But so here, this is a winning position. I think I even mentioned that move, just to press my advantage in the middle. Yeah, it's a bit of a thoughtless one. But, you know, fair play. Good game. Good game. And it brings our rating back down. So what am I now? Am I under 1000 again? Yes. I'm 975. Okay. Good game. I enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it too. And all the other ones, thank you for watching. See you later.